And joining me now is Colorado Congressman Ken Buck, who is part of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, also one of the leading GOP voices on cybersecurity and social media censorship. Congressman, great to have you with us today. Thank you.
Thank you. It's good to be with you.
Well, what a call it was this morning. Biden and Xi speaking about an hour and 50 minutes. And you just heard our James Rosen talk, Congressman, that it appears, at least from what we're hearing from China, and again, this is not coming from the White House, that they want to steer China-U.S. relations forward, strive for world peace. So you're hearing these little bits of what may have been discussed today. Does that give you hope, sir?
Well, there's a lot of reason to be hopeful, but also a lot of reason to have anxiety, frankly. China has designs on Taiwan. I think that one of the issues that President Biden should have raised, and I'm sure he did raise, was the Chinese-Taiwanese relationship. Also, Russia has indicated that they may be able to use China to avoid some of the sanctions that the United States and our allies have placed on Russia. I think that is one of the topics that had to be discussed between these two leaders. So there are a number of topics. It doesn't sound like we're going to get a lot of information, and I'm not sure that's a bad thing, but certainly there is some tension that is brewing between our country and China.
A lot of tension, and obviously what happens now going forward, whether or not Biden can navigate really this diplomacy here, sir, will really decide on how much closer China gets to Russia, or if we are able to sort of regain our relationship with them, hopefully to stave off any attack on Taiwan. Are you confident that President Biden, this administration, could actually succeed in this measure, seeing how their foreign policy has failed in Afghanistan, failed in Ukraine?
And I think that's a great point. President Biden is really working from a position of weakness. He has not demonstrated a position of strength in Afghanistan. That was an absolute debacle. China moved into Afghanistan as soon as our last troops had left. They have seized our weapons from Afghanistan. China is benefiting from President Biden's weakness. There is no reason to believe that they respect his strength, and there's no reason to believe they believe that the United States will be a deterrent to whatever they want to do in Taiwan.
The other big story we're following, Congressman, is Putin sort of laying out his demands for peace in Ukraine after this call with the president of Turkey, and want to get your thoughts on that. He's saying that Ukraine has to accept neutrality, at least this is what came out of the call, not apply to NATO. Zelensky's already said that's not a problem. He would not do that, but also undergo disarmament, protection for Russian language. Putin's still on this denazification, and obviously you saw the video. He was out with a massive crowd. He has his supporters in Russia. When you hear about Putin discussing in Turkey, this is his terms. He wants a face-to-face with Zelensky. It's hard to get a clear read as anyone. We can't really predict what Putin is up to, but to hear him delineate these lines, what do you make of that demand?
Well, I don't think that President Putin is sincere in these demands. First of all, there is no Nazi presence, large Nazi presence in Ukraine. And so to demand that there's denazification is just nonsense. Our Western European allies don't believe that. We don't believe that. And there's no reason to think that this isn't just a red herring from President Putin, a distraction. President Putin was intent on taking Ukraine. The Ukrainian people have fought valiantly and really deserve the respect of the world for the way they have pushed back against a nuclear-armed superpower. And the fact now that Putin is starting to talk about diplomacy, he had that opportunity for years since his invasion of Crimea, and he has done nothing moving forward in diplomacy. So I don't believe these demands are sincere, and I don't believe it's going to end any kind of conflict in Ukraine if President Zelensky meets with President Putin. I think that President Zelensky should demand that President Putin remove all Russian troops from Ukraine, and then perhaps a meeting could take place.
Real quickly, we do want to get your comments on oil. Recently, the president tweeted that oil prices are decreasing. Gas prices should too. Oil and gas companies shouldn't pad their profits at the Americans of hardworking Americans. But you know very well that this is a direct result of Biden's moratorium on oil and gas leases for federal lands and water. And it seems the Democrats are trying to redirect it by even saying that they will call on fossil fuel executives now to testify, trying to pull the attention away from Biden, pull the attention away from his policies. What do you make of this move here to really deflect what has been exactly his policies that are causing the prices at the pump for Americans?
This is another example of President Biden's weakness. We in Colorado, before the last governor, our current governor took office, we were issuing about 30 oil and gas drilling permits per month. In the first year that our new governor took office, he issued 5 permits for the entire year. The radical green agenda that the Democrat Party has adopted has been leading to this, and many of us have been calling for the Democrats to understand that their policies are going to lead to these kinds of prices. There is no Band-Aid that can be put on this issue right now. The oil and gas prices have dropped, but there is a definite time period that it takes to get gasoline refined and into the pumps. And so I don't expect to see a price drop immediately from that. In fact, if anything, as summer approaches, we're going to see prices go up.
It's very hard times for hardworking Americans. Congressman Ken Buck, thank you so much for joining us today. We certainly appreciate your expertise and your insight.
Thank you.